Grandma's Spinning Wheel in Tucson, Arizona has just become the flagship store for the state of Arizona for Circulo. Super excited about that. I love a lot of their yarns, a lot of their pattern support. I'm super excited about that. And they have started carrying amigurumi kits that are actually knit in addition to crochet. And this is one of their knitted teddy bears. And so, Cuddly Teddy Bear. I'm going to open this up and we're going to see what's inside it, and I'm going to give this a go and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, let's get this open. And the kit says it contains everything needed to make one of these bears. These are really sturdy bags. These are not cheap bags, not chinchy bags. You can see it's a really heavy duty plastic, and I'm already seeing a lot of good stuff in there. Let's see, first thing out here is of course the kind of front section there. Oh, look, the back of the insert shows you what the back of the bear looks like. Cute little tail. Okay, now I'm even more excited about this. Let's see what else is in the bag. These are instructions. Row by row instructions. Right here. Conversion sheet for British. Yeah, that's helpful. Needles. Bamboo with a U. I kind of like that. And I've never tried these. Let's open these up and see how they feel. Oh, hey. It's a metal cable, but it's coated. All right, these joins are really, really smooth, and the tips are decent. They're not really sharp. They're not really dull. And let's see if we can find where the sizing information is. Oh, look. Circulo, and it's etched into the needle. It can't rub off. If you run your fingers across there, you can actually feel that. So hooray. Wow, these came with this kit. That's really nice. Okay, yarn number 1. Oh, we'll look at that in a minute. Yarn number 2. What else is in here? Oh, a little package that has brown and black and a stitch marker in it and the safety eyes. And here's a bundle of stuffing to go inside. So they weren't kidding when the package says everything included to make this knitted stuffy. You have eyes, stitch marker, stuffing, the yarn you need. Okay, let's see how the instructions are. Now, of course, I can't show you guys the full pattern, but I did want to show you this initial little section. Some very useful information here. Level, intermediate, basic and repetitive stitches and stitch technique beyond the basics, with more detailed shaping and finishing, including increases and decreases, simple sewing stitches, and embroidery stitches. It gives you the material list here, which is really nice, and yep, there it all is in there. Pattern notes. Knit back and forth starting at the legs, ending with the head and arms are worked separately. So basically this is, even though it's kind of a round shaped stuffy, this is worked flat, so you don't have to worry about magic loop. As much as I love magic loop, you don't have to worry about this, which is really fantastic. So yeah, this is promising so far. Looks like this might be a very fun and simple project. I love projects that teach me something new, and this project already has. This project calls for something I'd never done before. It's called the Magic Ring Cast On, and you start with Magic Ring Cast On of 8. Now, to help you with this, what you might consider doing is you might consider going and checking out my magic circle or magic ring crocheted video that shows you how I do magic circle or magic ring and crochet, and learning that will probably help you with this if you've never done this before. But here's what this cast on looks like. This is so cool. So we've got this loop here, and we catch this, and then we come this way and we draw a loop up here. I've now got two. And we scoop under, we reach through the ring and bring a loop forward here. And we come from behind, pass through the ring, and do another one. There's 6. Scoop from underneath, enter the ring, scoop from above, and there's our 8. There's the cast on. I learned something new. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And here's what's cool later. Close up the circle. You don't close it up now. When you do it right, when you pull on this short tail, that starts to close up. The pattern says specifically not to do that yet, so of course I'm going to leave that alone for now. On to the next step. I'm a ways into leg number 1, and some of these rows, they call out increases in specific places. Now, they don't specify what kind of increase to do. So since we are making fabric that we're going to be stuffing and we don't want holes in our fabric that stuffing can ooze out of, I'm doing make ones. So here's this first make one in this row, so I'm doing a make one right on that side. And since there's no diagram on this that I could find on the instructions, I'm going to assume that I'm putting these in the right sequence, and I'll do a make one left as the second increase that this row calls out. We'll see when I get to the end of this if the increase method that I chose works well, and if I put the right leaning one in the proper place and the left leaning one in the proper place. But this is 10 rows, 10 complete rows into leg number 1 with our magic circle cast on right there. Interesting looking. I have to say that this Charme, this is a 100% cotton that we do stock there in the shop, and I'm pretty excited about working with that because I haven't done a project with it yet personally. I've been eyeballing some things, but this is my first time working with it, and so far so good. I really like it. Leg number 1 complete, and this went by really fast because there's only 26 stitches in the top row of this leg. Now the instructions say to leave a 16-inch tail for sewing, not to bind this off, but to transfer stitches to an auxiliary yarn. In English terms, a scrap yarn. Remember, Circulo is out of Brazil, and they speak Portuguese, and so sometimes with their patterns, you know, some of the translations can be a little funny. I'm supposing you could use, you know, if you don't have scrap yarn handy, you might be able to use the black yarn that's included with the kit, you know, temporarily as scrap yarn to hold these on. I'm going to park this first leg on my favorite little stitch holder here that's got the nice secure points at both ends. If you want to give these a try, I'll put a link to these down in the show description. Come in a couple different sizes, but I'm going to park this one, and then I'm going to start on leg number 2. I've completed leg 1 and leg 2, and now it's time to start the body. And you start the body by working across the top of the leg that's still in the needles, and then you transfer the leg that you'd put on a scrap yarn or a holder. I use this one back onto the needle, and then you just work across the top of that other leg to join them. So there we go. And I'm going to continue this row across, but now apparently we're going to work the body back and forth, back and forth, back and forth this way. After joining the legs, the pattern has you increase for a little while at a couple places here and another section here. And then when you get up to about here, you decrease
for a couple of rows. One of the nice things about this pattern so far is that since we're working in stockinette, it's pretty simple. We're knitting on this side and purling on that side. And I'm now to the point where the pattern has told me to switch from the white to what they call the candy blue. And it also tells you to leave long 16-inch tails for weaving in. So I've left those. I've left one here. I've left a couple here in each color. And to keep them out of the way, I'm clipping them to the back right here so I can't accidentally work with those.
So I've completed the body section up to there, and now I've started on the head section. The body section, a lot of it is worked in the blue, and when you switch to the head, you switch back to the white, and you can already start to see the structure of this, where the increases and decreases happen, create this really cute shaping. I can already tell you're going to be folding this in half and seaming up the back middle there. Here is the complete bear body, and in the instructions they actually tell you to mark the center of the head, and they tell you exactly where to place the safety eyes. So I have taken stitch markers and pinned them in the exact spots where the safety eyes are going to go in. And you're supposed to close the top of this up by stringing a tail through the last of the stitches in order to bind them off. So for now I've just put those on this holder to kind of sit and wait until I get to that point. And before I start sewing this up and stuffing it, I'm going to start making the arms. And the arms and the ears, it looks like they all start with this same cast on that the legs started with, the magic circle cast on. And the more often you do it, the faster and easier it gets. I've now made the little components. You make the arms separate, and then you make the ears, and you make the cute little tail. Here's arms, ears, and little tail. Time to start sewing up and stuffing and assembling. So I've got the bear sewn up. Still have lots of ends to weave in. I've got the arms sewn up and stuffed. Here's the tail. That's stuffed. Ears kind of pinned in place. The eyes are already in. Now I need to sew everything up, and then you go through and you duplicate stitch on the muzzle here, and you embroider on the little facial details, and you're done.
Moment of truth. Here's the picture of what we were aiming for. And here's my finished bear. It's really cute. Good. Here's so much material I had left over. Plenty of the candy blue, some of the black, the chocolate brown, and the creamy white. Eyebrows, eyeballs. What's interesting is that the duplicate stitch, or the muzzle here, was probably the most time-consuming part of the entire process. And you'll notice that there's something here you don't see in the picture. I had so much of this blue left over that I didn't really like how the neck increases look exposed. I mean, they're okay. It's not bad. There's so much of the blue left over, I thought, wouldn't it be really cute to make him a little scarf or a little bow with some of that leftover blue? And that's maybe the cast on, couple of rows, and then cast back off again, bind off again. Yep. Final verdict is the instructions need a little bit of help, but there's plenty of material, except for I'd have to say I used every single speck of stuffing that came in the little bag. But It's pretty easy pattern to follow. The longest row I ever did was in here. It's 60 stitches across, and then it goes down from there. So if you have never knit a stuffy before, this might be a really, really great place to start. I like the finished size of the object, and yeah, there we go. Circulo teddy bear kits. I approve. They're great.